Hey Josh, it's Monday, and first off, to answer your question from last week, it's probably going to take up a good amount of this video, because I have I want to say unique dungeon mastering style. Not really sure if it is unique or not, but I don't know. So you said that there's generally two types of dungeon master types that you've seen. There's the planner and the improviser, essentially, is the best way to put it. I'm both. I'm sort of in the middle of those two. I do a lot of planning beforehand. In fact, I can pull up my notes for my main Desmondus game. I probably should have thought about that prior, but oh well. Let's see. I have so many notes on it here. And I haven't even started writing for the the game that we're going to be doing, and right here is all the paper that is for my game. This has like the general information on the world, different cities as well I have written in here. I need to do a bit more of that because I have a few cities that I haven't really written for lately. I have all the stuff planned out that they're going to deal with, and story progressing stuff and all that. It might not look like a lot, but I think I've had 10, probably less than 10 sessions, and that's a lot of notes to take. That's not even including the notes that I have on specifically my characters, or my players. I have a full page for all of my all the players. So, yeah. And I'm gonna be having full pages for all of your guys' characters as well. So, I plan out a lot. But at the same time, my party doesn't like to go on the obvious railroading stuff that I put out. And, which, I mean, I can admit that I do railroad. At least a little bit, not super heavy. Typically, I think that the one big railroad thing that I had done was actually something that I had sort of been considering doing in the first place, that I just decided, hey, may as well do this, because they're having some hard times getting through this. I think I've explained it before, but there's two factions that are sort of starting to go into a civil war in my world of Desmondus during the main game, which you guys might get a taste of that being 4.5 years or so in the past. Sorry, excuse me. The one big railroad thing that I would say that I had done was one of my characters, Asmazio, which is played by my friend Elijah, he was having, so the Crown's Guard had asked the party to help out with some negotiation, and Asmazio was like, I have no reason to be in this war. I don't really want to be in this war, so it's a no from me. And so I was just like, well, crap. How do I do this? Like, in my head, I was just like, okay, how do I get Asmazio into this? And I was just like, well, there was this idea that I had sort of formulating that I hadn't fully decided on yet, but I was just like, alright, screw it, let's go with it. And I made an important NPC from Asmazio's past be the leader of the Revolution, or the Corellon's Chosen, as I refer to them, which, again, haven't quite formed in the 4.5 years in the past yet. They're in the early stages at most, and they're probably still considered part of the Samron Circle, because the Corellon's Chosen are centered in the city of Ankor, which is in the, let me double check the name again, because I come up with weird names, Elvamaru Forest, yeah, Envel Maru, that, which is part, which the Samron Circle, which is my circle, my druid circle, they are like druid ranger, some barbarians as well go into there, a few fighters as well if they're a bit more primitive. Anyway, but yeah, so the Samron Circle sort of is situated, at least the Misarum part, the Misarum branch, I guess, is situated in the Envamaru Forest, and so the Crown's Guard and the Samron Circle have sort of a loose agreement that we don't meddle with your stuff if you don't meddle with our stuff. So the Corellons Chosen have been using that as a refuge to sort of plot, but really just in a way of like, we're not going to get involved in your war, but we will show hospitality to you as well as the Crown's Guard if they choose to come here, which they did. But yeah, so that was really the only real railroady thing that I had done, was making Vina the leader of the Corellons Chosen, which I hadn't even come up with the name of yet, and that branched off into a super long story. But yeah, so like I said, I do have a lot, I kind of improvise a lot of stuff as well. Another example of it was, I had planned for an important NPC to die, and I wasn't quite sure where to place that, but there was some character development that happened, and Aiden became a edgy teenager. That's Theo's character, in case you weren't aware. And he, there was some character development with Aiden, and that's when I was just like, okay, this character is done now, I can kill him off. And so I did, and that sparked even more rage in Aiden, which I love and hate at the same time, but I'm super excited to see where it goes. But yeah, another sort of super planning thing that I have is that I have a full speech planned out for the next big event in my main game. But at the same time, I have something written out as like your typical flashcard speech that politicians do, and if the party does decide to interject at some point, I have little gaps where I can be like, okay, I can sort of add something in with that. So yeah, I'm kind of an in-between. But yeah, so I guess that'll do for this video. So Josh, my question for you, God, excuse me, sorry. Hearing my sort of way that I do it, which side of the spectrum would you put me in more? I personally think that I'm a bit more in the planner side, but I am very much able to go by the seat of my pants if need be. So yeah, that'll do it for this video. So Josh, I will see you on Thursday. Maybe. I'm not sure if you're doing a video on Thursday due to it being Christmas Eve, but I'll see you on Thursday anyway because we're Skyping, well, Discord chatting that day. Yeah, anyway, so that'll do it for this video. So Josh, I'll see you on Thursday. Later, bro.